The auto repair experience can be painful for customers who dread what often amounts to a confusing and skeptical process. Now, shops around the country can dramatically reduce the level of confusion and distrust today's drivers are experiencing. Through the use of digital vehicle inspections, all the answers are now at the driver's fingertips. In highly detailed vehicle health reports, complete with photos, videos, and notes, which can be texted to drivers so they can make educated, trusting purchase decisions about their vehicles. Bolt-on technology is empowering auto repair shops with the ability to provide real transparency and information to today's vehicle owners regarding their service and safety needs. Vehicle maintenance shouldn't be a scary process. Learn more about bolt-on technology, simplifying car repair and customer care.
I'm Kimberly Bottom for AAPEX TV, brought to you by Zia.
And I'm Christina Jensen. We're here at the Let's Tech stage where you can get insight from experts on a variety of topics.
That's right. They're only 20 minutes long, and they're every hour on the hour, so you can make the most of your time.
This session talked about how to optimize inventory positions across the aftermarket supply chain. Justin Holman from Aftermarket Analytics described the methods to generate demand estimates. Here are some key takeaways.
Talked about some of the other elements that we think are important to blend in order to improve upon what we see in the industry mostly going on in terms of using national replacement rates that are meant to work for demand forecasting all over the country. We think that that breaks down a little bit depending on what part of the country you're in. We also think that VIO is a little too heavily reliant on registration data, and we think that blending in demographics, used car inventories, things like that are important.
The mix of both market data with also consumer and demographic data was really interesting, so we could get smarter on what products we're carrying, what parts we're carrying, making sure that our inventory is on point.
Holman also spoke about how the company is using high-resolution satellite imagery.
We're starting to use satellite imagery as a way to do such validation. It's tricky, and but the technology's there, and we're gonna start incorporating that, and we think that'll help the industry.
So be sure to check the schedule on the AAPEX app to find the Let's Tech session that best suits your needs.
The stage is located on level 2, right outside the exhibit hall next to the AAPEX TV studio. For AAPEX TV, I'm Christina Jensen.
And I'm Kimberly Bottom.
Some people like to talk about boxes. But we prefer to think outside them. It's probably why America's favorite truck rolls off the line with TRW ball joints. Discover why TRW is America's premium solution for steering and suspension. And why it's not about the box, it's about the part.
Professionals from 135 countries are here in Las Vegas during AAPEX, and this International Buyers Center is a place just for them. It's a quiet place to have meetings, grab a coffee, and engage with other people who've traveled from across the world to attend the show.
How big is the show, you know? And sometimes you find really hard place to meet people, and there's so much noise, and it becomes very nice to have meetings in private and just invite the customers here in the business center.
It is a great place to hang out. It's really good to be able to grab a cup of coffee when you're on a completely different time frame.
Brake Parts Inc. is sponsoring the International Buyers Center this year.
We have customers all over the globe, and we want to make sure that we connect with them. And it's hard to get enough people on planes going to all those countries, and we have the luxury here with AAPEX of everybody here being all in one place. So there's really no better way to get everybody all at once.
The Aftermarket Outlook session is an AAPEX tradition. Executive Director of Industry Analysis at the NPD Group, Nathan Shipley, gave his thoughts on where the aftermarket is heading in 2019. He said the industry is about to dive right into a time period of, quote, evolution and change.
The biggest challenge is e-commerce and how to react to that as consumers slowly migrate online. But bigger picture is the mobility model of the U.S. and how consumers are getting around, I think, self-driving cars and that type of thing. And so our core consumer is going to change. The thought is that ownership of cars down the road is something that me and you won't do. We won't own cars. And so how does that look for your customers? Who are your customers down the road? So that's what we're thinking and what we're talking about.
Shipley included insights and analysis using the 2018 Consumer Outlook Survey. This is the survey's 13th year, and the results were unveiled for the first time exclusively to AAPEX attendees. Hi everyone, I'm Kimberly Bottom for AAPEX TV, brought to you by ZF, and I'm at the ZF booth now, joined by Richard Krotzer. And Richard, what does ZF want AAPEX attendees to know on the last day?
Well, Kimberly, I wanted to make sure that and encourage everyone to show up on Thursday at the AAPEX show. I want to invite a special invitation to our Alliance members who have over 5,000 shop owners and technicians, and we were really looking forward to it. I think it's going to be an exciting day at AAPEX on Thursday.
It absolutely will. We always love when the Alliance comes, that big march across Las Vegas Boulevard. It's a great way to end AAPEX. So when they come to the ZF booth, what can they expect to see?
Well, I want them to know that we're going to be fully staffed here at the ZF booth at 5062. We're going to have our product management team here. We're going to have our marketing team here. We're also going to have trainers here doing technical training every hour on the bottom of the half hour, okay? My sales team is going to be here to answer questions about our quality OE and aftermarket brands such as TRW, Saks, and Stablis. So we're looking forward for everybody to come out. We're ready to go.
Awesome. So you heard it here. 5062 is the place to be on the last day of AAPEX. Thanks so much for sharing all of that with us. This is AAPEX TV, brought to you by ZF. Thanks for watching.
We have been shaping the world of mobility for over 130 years. Creating innovative ignition and fuel injection technology for gasoline and diesel engines. Trusted by original equipment manufacturers with coverage that meets our commitment to quality. Bosch Powertrain Solutions, engineered for durability. Designed for optimal performance.
This year, 11 exhibitors had the honor of receiving the Best Booth Awards. AAPEX TV spoke to 3 of those winners. BTS Industries took home the award for the best 10x10 booth on level 2.
We spend quite a bit of time working with a 10-foot booth. It's a very limited space. You have a fraction of a second to attract attention. So we spend months planning what would go on it graphically, choosing colors, getting just the right amount of time for each element in the 10-foot booth.
And the winner of the best linear booth over 200 square feet and best in show 100 square feet or linear went to Ullman Devices.
Coming to the show, we didn't even know that there was, the awards for it. It was just our efforts we were going to do regardless, and to be recognized for it by the industry is awesome.
While Gates Corporation won 2 awards.
We wanted to show how the parts interacted on the vehicle itself. And so we find that it's easier to explain to people, and people understand it better when they see it as a system. And also we wanted to humanize it. We wanted to show the booth, to make the booth inviting, educational, engaging.
Congratulations again to all of this year's winners. AAPEX's remanufacturing track was back and better than ever. It was broken down into 2 parts. The first focused on opportunities and challenges surrounding international trade regulations, with an overview of the various global remanufacturing markets.
We're not limited to only the U.S., we're not limited to China. The European Union's doing great things, and South America's doing great things. There's really a chance for the market to grow, for the industry to grow, and I hope people take advantage of all the opportunity.
The second part provided outlook and insights from C-suite remanufacturing leaders.
There's so much growth opportunity in remanufacturing. There's many underserved markets, many evolving markets, and it's just key to study those, make sure we understand where we can go, where we can grow, and how we can better serve really our world, because whatever we remanufacture stays out of the landfill.
The industry and just the state of remanufacturing, and I think just hearing from all these different executives from these companies really was very helpful.
The remanufacturing track is just one of many educational tracks offered as part of AAPEX EDU.
Tariffs and trade are at the forefront of our industry, and AAPEX is dedicated to helping you understand how it could affect your business. This briefing was led by MEMA's Senior Vice President of Government Affairs, Ann Wilson, who gave AASA members information and resources to clarify the U.S.-Mexico-Canada Agreement, steel and aluminum tariffs, imports from China, and potential tariffs on autos and auto parts.
To understand when the tariffs were announced, what the level is, when the exclusion process is.
It was a very helpful summary of what's going on, what's coming up, and also the resources that we can tap into to give us more information, stay up to date, nice flow charts, that we can use in our own businesses, so very helpful.
Another session brought to you by Auto Care Association focused on navigating trade in a challenging political environment.
Pay attention to international trade law and policy, and try and think outside the box. Don't think just about how the trade rules have been used, but think about how they might be used.
This is a complex issue that's constantly changing, but there are opportunities to get informed and get assistance.
This is a time when it's probably worth going to outside help if you are struggling with interpreting some of the stuff and you want some guidance. Your trade association in Washington is terrific, so definitely use them to your benefit.
Presenters say you can find more information on tariffs and trade by visiting ustr.gov.
Cars today collect huge amounts of data. So who has control of the data collected from your vehicle? Not you. Soon, automakers could be the only ones to control this data, which could restrict your repair and maintenance options.
But it's my car. It should be my data.
More than 85% of consumers agree. Car owners should have full access to and control of their car's data.
What can we do?
To learn more about how this data is collected, come see a live demonstration at booth 31021.
From under the hood to behind the wheel, everything on the AAPEX show floor is meant to keep cars on the road longer.
If I could have one word to describe AAPEX, it would definitely be exciting.
AAPEX is impressive.
AAPEX is enormous.
AAPEX is global.
AAPEX is informative.
The best place to doing business.
AAPEX's expo hosts buyers, suppliers, celebrities, and even elected officials. Congresswoman Dina Titus stopped by for the second year in a row.
The industry is changing, so technology is changing, and I serve on the Transportation Committee, so the more I see, the more I learn, the better I can do.
Here are some events that show AAPEX knows how to have fun. love to see your photos from these events. Make sure to use the hashtag APEX18. For APEX TV, I'm Christina Jensen.